Hello everyone, this is Scott Stahl with this month's edition of Community Connections, and we're here at Carts and Parts owned by Eugene and Shirley Thomason to go over golf cart laws for Ohio and Indiana, so everybody hopefully has an understanding. And of course, anytime that you do have questions, whether it's golf carts or anything else, Chief Baird, Chief Wells will be more than happy to assist you in any way that they can. And as a way of introduction, Union City to my right, Union City, Ohio Chief of Police Jeff Baird. To my left, Union City, Indiana Chief of Police Cobie Wells, to go over the laws and what you can and cannot do to be a law-abiding citizen with your golf cart. Now we've moved inside to show you a couple golf carts in here and have the two chiefs along with Eugene explain some of the equipment on the carts, what you can or can't do. And I think we'll start with Chief Wells as to what a citizen can do here in Union City, Indiana if they come out here. Should they come out here first, or should they come and see you as to what they can and cannot have on a golf cart, Chief?
I would suggest that they come and talk to us first, and then that way they know what they can buy or can't buy. But the retailer here is very familiar with the Indiana state laws and our own ordinances as to what his customers can have. We've had a couple discussions with that, and so either place, I believe they're going to be well informed before they buy their vehicle.
Okay, what are some of the issues that you have had since golf carts became legal on the street and so on? Serious issues or good advice?
Well, basically I can explain the law would probably help answer that question best. And in the state of Indiana, they've given their cities and towns the opportunity to regulate those regulations on golf carts, with a few exceptions. Those exceptions being that anybody 8 years or under must be in a restraint, and nobody under the age of 2 can ride on the golf carts. Indiana state law also says that they can't be driven on a state highway. However, they can cross a state highway with their golf cart, either straight across or at perpendicular angles or whatever it takes to get to the next city road. Our own city regulations or ordinances require that we have a orange placard on the back, a flag that sticks above the vehicle, and that it has insurance on the vehicle. We also require that they show that proof to the police department, and upon showing that proof, we will register the vehicle for them. As far as day and nighttime driving, what we do on our registration is, if they come in and the golf cart has lights, turn signals, and brake lights, things such as that, they will be allowed to drive it at night. However, if they don't have it, they can still get the registration with an exemption on the bottom that's written in by the officer or myself that states they don't have those available, and they must park the vehicle or not drive it on city streets a half hour before sunset or a half hour before the sun rises, so that we can make sure they're off the streets and stuff like that in a safe manner.
Okay. Anything else you can think of off the top of your head as we'll come back to you as we hopefully get this discussion going?
As I'm sure we'll talk about further on, there are special permits that I can give out to groups or citizens, like when we have special events like Heritage Days and things such as that. Those special permits can be given out. However, the vehicle still has to have a licensed driver driving it, and it has to be insured. And it has to stay within the confines or near the confines of that special event. So, we've given out church group permit events and stuff like that with specific routes that they'll be taking, and heritage days and stuff like that. The citizens shouldn't be afraid to come up and speak to us about obtaining those permits.
It's best to find out beforehand as
Absolutely.
opposed to afterwards, and it's just like in my personal vehicle. I need to have my driver's license with me, and I need to have proof of insurance if I should be stopped by an officer.
Sure.
To show them.
Yes, because one of our regulations is that it's a licensed driver driving the vehicle. and that every person that is on the vehicle must have a place to be seated. They can't be on laps and things like that, and no portion of their body can stick out while the vehicle is being driven. So it's good to have all those available at the time in case an officer does want to inquire about whether they are registered or within the legal means of where they're supposed to be.
Okay, thank you, Chief. But anyway, Chief Baird, if you'd again go over what, if I want to buy a golf cart, what I need to do. Do I come and see you first? Do I come out and buy one from Eugene? I'm sure he's well versed in the laws.
You can do it either way. I've left Eugene a copy of our ordinance and a copy of our checkoff sheet. For Ohio, turn signals, headlights, license plate light, windshield, slow moving vehicle sign, brackets for both license plates, front and rear. Have to be 16 in order to operate it. Must have insurance. People have a question, contact me, contact one of my officers, or stop up, see Eugene when they're looking at their car.
See, is it the same in Ohio as what it is in Indiana, where Chief Wells says they can't be on somebody's lap, they have to be...
Have to be in a seat. Can't be operated on a state route except crossover. 24/7 on operation as long as it's got the headlights, because that's what's required by the state.
Okay, so I would have to I should check with you to see what the requirements are for me to come out and talk with Eugene as far as getting a
What
cart.
I've done with people that have come in is I give them a copy of the checkoff sheet. They can hang on to it, and as they get stuff done, once it's done, they come see us and we get it inspected.
You come see you check it off on the checkoff sheet, sign off on it. And
Give them a copy of it, and then they go to the license, or not, I'm sorry, they go to the title office over in Greenville, obtain their title, and then go to the BMV and obtain their plates. They come back, we jot down the plate information, and we give them their sticker from Union City, and they're good to go.
And that sticker goes on the license plate?
No, it goes on the cart.
Goes on the cart.
We try to put it up by their serial number, whether it be up in the little glove box area, or on some of the older carts, it's down by the battery compartment.
But that shows that they've been inspected.
Been inspected and registered by the city.
By the village, and everything's good to go. Now, do they need to redo that every year?
Supposed to have it redone every year.
Okay, and that's as far as the inspection to make sure they
Yep.
have the headlights, rear view mirrors, et cetera, et cetera.
Make sure they haven't removed something, or if they've added something, to make sure it's appropriate.
Okay, what does it cost, you know, for a license plate for a golf cart, how expensive that is?
That I have no clue.
I don't know that either, whether the same as your vehicle or...
In our city ordinance, it's $30, and it has to be registered annually.
Okay, so you have the same requirement every year?
Yes, sir.
Renewal.
It gets re-inspected every year to make sure, like I said, that they're still within the guidelines that we allow on the streets.
Okay. Eugene, I haven't introduced him yet. Eugene Thomason, owner-operator, along with his wife Shirley. And I'm sure you get plenty of questions ever since you've been out here, about 2 years now, from the citizens that come out and what the heck can I did say heck, didn't I?
Yep.
What can I do and what can I do? You have any advice here, Eugene? Spit her out there.
You asked about the license plate. I do believe in Ohio, the license plate costs the same as it does for a car, not a pickup truck, but an automobile. So, and then they pay their sales tax here, so they don't have that over there normally. So when they get their title.
Okay, you're able to equip the carts out here, whether it's for Indiana requirements or Ohio requirements, you're
Yes.
able to equip that vehicle for me, depending where I live.
Yes, we can equip it for Ohio. We've met with Jeff. He's told us how he want them by the state law. We've gotten them done and not had any problems with any of them. I think we've sent you.
Nope.
Everything's passed fine. We know what they want, and what they require over there. So.
Okay, and you have a copy of that information out here, whether it's UCI, UCO, in case somebody forgot something that you can show them, well, yes, this is what you need, type thing.
Yes, we keep the copies on hand here, and we always give them a copy so they can have it in writing too, and they can read it and see it. So.
Okay, any other advice for someone that's wanting to get a golf cart, whether it be gas or electric?
That just a matter of preference. what they want, you know, where versus gas or electric. The electric's a lot cheaper to purchase versus the gas golf cart. So a lot of people choose electric just strictly due to, you know, quite a bit of money difference for them.
Okay, Chief Wells, now, again, in Indiana, excuse me, you do not have to have a license plate.
No, sir.
Okay, but if a resident would want to get a license plate because they want to drive into Ohio, or maybe they go to Florida and they take the golf cart, maybe they require a license plate down there, can they get one if they want one?
We have discussed this, and we do recognize the registration to, if say like they got a registration in Ohio, as long as they also have the insurance on the vehicle and they stop in and let us know prior to, we do recognize those registrations.
Okay, you recognize an Ohio registration with the license plate?
Yes.
Okay, but my question is, if a Union City, Indiana resident wants to get a license plate as opposed to a sticker, can they do that so they can legally drive in Indiana? Or if they go to Florida or Texas or whatever for the winter and take that cart with them to make it legal in a state that requires a license plate?
I don't really know that the license branch will license plate a golf cart. That would be something that I'd have to investigate, but I've not heard tell of that. But, you know, like I said, if the vehicle is registered and it has insurance and they come up and speak to me, yes, we will recognize it.
Okay, because I'm sure there's some of our snowbirds that might want to take their golf cart along. And again, if we got two states here with different laws, and then you go wherever for 3, 4, 5 months in the winter, those states could have their own laws too, and to cut down on some of the opportunities you really don't want.
And the best advice to give there is that they check with that state before they go and make sure that everything is going to be fine when they arrive.
Okay, thank you. One other subject we need to talk about is that State Line Heritage Days coming up here, July 31st through August the 3rd. As far as golf carts being allowed out in the areas where they're going to be marked off, etc., for State Line Heritage Days, what can the average citizen do and or the committee members do? What's it restricted to? Go ahead, Chief.
On the Indiana side, we don't allow bicycles or anything because there's too many people walking inside, you know, where the actual event is taking place. However, there are no regulations against having the golf cart there as long as there's a licensed driver on it and the vehicle is insured. And it stays within the confines of, if it's not registered with us, that it stays within the confines of that event. That being said, they need to come up and talk to us first so that we can make out a special permit for them during that event. And it does lay out the dates of the event and the times that they can drive it, and gives us an opportunity to speak to them also about, you know, being safety conscious and alert and stuff like that. So anybody that needs to do that, they need to come up and talk to us. We'll get them a special permit, especially if it's the only time they would drive it is at that event or anything like that. You know, we will work with them on that. And by Indiana state law, we are allowed to work with them. So again, it has to be a licensed driver and the vehicle still needs to be insured.
Those two things are key. No matter what time of the year it is, no matter what time of the day it is, you have to have a driver's license and you have to have your insurance on your vehicle, period.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Jeff, what they can do, citizens can do, committee members can do during the State Line Heritage Days events.
Committee members, they'll be able to operate on the closed streets. Of course, it means they don't take the golf carts home with them at night and drive down the streets or the sidewalks outside of the festival area. Day of the parade, anybody's welcome to put their golf cart in the parade, travel the parade route. They will be instructed to make a left-hand turn at Deerfield and take Deerfield back into UCI. If anybody's caught off of that route, I hate to use the term they're fair game, but they could be cited if an officer chose to do that. So if anybody's in it, they need to follow the route, follow the instructions. As far as going up into the festival area, as Chief Wells has said, it gets congested. I would prefer not to see somebody riding on a closed street unless it's a festival member, committee member.
Okay. But they would be able to, for example, take it down to Railroad Park and travel back and forth there to some of the different flea markets, food stands, events, and so on. They're going down
Again,
there.
they could, I wouldn't want them driving in it. They could drive to it, but with the people, you don't want them driving down through the crowds.
In other words, park it,
Park it and
walk.
get out and enjoy the walk and enjoy the festival.
Okay. Okay, so again, anyone on the committee is going to be able to go back and forth, cross state line, on the routes that are so designated for the events, whether it be the rides, whether it be going down to the A&W for the root beer guzzling contest, and so on. Those things are allowed, but not going somewhere else that is not a part of the route for state line heritage days. They have to stay within the confines of that. Okay, and again, we'll repeat that State Line Heritage Days is July 31st through Wednesday, July 31st will be the kickoff, and the parade is on Saturday, August the 3rd. So we hope that everyone enjoys State Line Heritage Days, has a good time. The bottom line is, if you have questions on a golf cart, go to the necessary police department, UCI, UCO to ask your questions, to get them answered, to alleviate any problems that none of us want to have. We want to help our citizens as much as humanly possible, but there's also laws that the police department has to live within. It's that simple. And if they let something happen 1, 2, 3, 4 days out of the year that can't happen the other 360, that can lead to problems that nobody needs or wants. So that's what the one thing we have to definitely remember. Chief Wells, I don't know if there's anything else that you would like to add. Your personal information, how they might get a hold of you.
Sure.
So on.
If they have any questions, they can contact the Union City Police Department at 765-964-5328, and an officer should be able to get back in touch with them or speak to them right away.
Okay. Chief Baird?
Contact me or the police department, 968-7744, option 3, extension 2.
And then we'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Gentlemen, I appreciate your time. Eugene, I certainly appreciate your time wherever you may be. And hopefully this will be insightful to our citizens, so they have some information, golf carts, etc. And come out here and visit Eugene. He can help you. And again, either police department is ready and willing to assist you in any way that they can, whether it be on golf carts or any other matter. All you need to do is contact them. So that's it for today. We thank you for your time, and enjoy the rest of your summer, and definitely enjoy State Line Heritage Days. Thank you.